Situated in Southside Virginia, Lunenburg County boasts a rich agricultural heritage. Tobacco is the primary cash crop, and sweet cantaloupes and abundant cattle thrive here. Just like country music legend Roy Clark, Lunenburg County farmers are picking and grinning this time of year. Farm stands offer a taste of the county's agricultural bounty.
Richard Height operates a diversified crop and livestock operation near the town of Kinbridge on the eastern side of the county.
I farm about 2,000 acres. I farm cattle, hay and pasture land accounts for about 1,000 plus acres, and then row crops and no-till crops. Currently this year I have about 218 acres of tobacco, about 100 acres of corn, and the remainder is in soybeans. I also do organic produce, and so currently I have about 16 acres of cabbage in the field that we're actually going to destroy today.
Height says dry and hot weather prevented his cabbage from reaching a marketable size, but before destroying the crop, he invited local churches to glean over 6,000 pounds of cabbage. A few miles down the road, Cecil Shell has found a niche in specialty crops.
We raise dog-fired tobacco, and we raise watermelons and sweet potatoes, sort of specialize in those two. They're sort of, I'm not going to say they're real easy to produce, but there's some shelf life in the sweet potatoes, and the watermelons, we try to get them to have a good taste to them.
Most tobacco raised in Lunenburg County is dried in metal barns in a technique called flue curing. But Shell raises tobacco that is cured in a wooden barn using open fires. The entire stalk of the dark-fired tobacco plants will be cut down and speared onto sticks that are then hung on beams in barns like this one to be cured.
Your flue cured tobacco is basically going into the cigarette, The dark-fired tobacco is used for cigars and chewing tobacco. With the dark-fired, that's more labor intense. I mean, it's all hand, basically, whereas with your flue cured, you got machines that can harvest, oh my goodness, I mean, it's nothing for a machine to harvest 10, 12,000 pounds a day. Whereas with the dark-fired, you might get 500,000 pounds,
On the western side of the county, Malcolm Bailey raises beef cattle, including this Longhorn favorite. He also raises tobacco and started his own cigarette company.
I actually bought 27 new GMC vans and hired people to just carry our cigarettes throughout Virginia and edges of North Carolina with the same approach as, will you take the cigarettes in your store? Don't pay us unless you sell the cigarettes, and of course there's a nice, decent profit for you. And that's how we finally got our cigarettes to be recognized.
On the easternmost edge of the county near the Dundas community, 3 generations of the Parish family are finding new crops to keep the family tradition growing.
He grew up here, my parents bought it, and then I grew up here, so it's pretty neat, but it's always something different. We're pretty diverse in all we're trying to do, so it's see what's next. It'll be something different tomorrow.
The parishes raise corn, wheat, and soybeans, and Eli Parish and his brother Kerry are growing the first tobacco crop on the farm in 20 years. The family also has an agritourism venture that features a pumpkin patch and corn maze, and operate a wedding and event venue.
It is the idea that folks traditionally are going to find a pumpkin patch and go to it. And so we have the pumpkins, and that does entice people to come here and then therefore enjoy the rest of our place.
It's just outstanding. I wouldn't take anything for it to see it growing, and I can't imagine what my parents would have thought to see what's going on here now, So, but I'm most pleased.
Less than a mile from the parishes, Walter Thompson and his wife raise a wide variety of fruits and vegetables, including their locally renowned cantaloupes. They market their produce at an on-site farm stand and regional farmers markets.
A lot of people up there wait patiently for our cantaloupes to come on the market, and they will tell you there's definitely a difference. Cantaloupes kind of come in like an old percolator or a popcorn popper. You up there, the first thing you hear is a bloop or a pop, then it's 1 or 2, then it's a little wait and then 1 or 2 more, and then all of a sudden they just burst loose.
According to the latest Census of Agriculture, there are 299 farms in Lunenburg County, covering 69,485 acres. The market value of all agricultural products is $14,535,000. Crops account for the majority of sales, coming in at $11,255,000. Tobacco brings in $4,876,000, while grains are valued at $4,080,000. Other crops and hay account for $1,700,000 in sales, while vegetables, melons, potatoes, and sweet potatoes delivered $287,000. Livestock, poultry, and their products bring farmers $3,280,000, and cattle and calves are the biggest part of that, earning $1,915,000.
There has been some interest now in growing vegetable crops on a larger scale and organic vegetables. The two that have been popular over the past few years here have been cabbage as well as broccoli, and that was a really good market to kind of open in the county because a lot of the equipment that's used to grow those two vegetable crops is the same equipment that is used to grow tobacco.
Like her fellow Lunenburg County growers, Katrina Wells has found an innovative niche to help her prosper in agriculture. She welcomes local and traveling visitors to red fern lavender growers as a haven for herself and pollinators.
There's plenty of pollinators around. The bees and the butterflies are very plentiful in the field. I would say on some of the weekends we've had, anywhere from 100 to 150 people come out to our little small lavender farm here in Lunenburg, Virginia, which I have just been thrilled about.
While the heritage of raising tobacco is rich in Lunenburg County, farmers here continue to find diverse ways to successfully grow their legacy. Reporting from Lunenburg County, Virginia, I'm Elijah Griles.